So hey guys, okay, we can continue now with the app. So let me actually, I'm uploading a video. So let's go HTTP localhost 3000 to see where we are now. Okay, you can, well, you will see some changes. You can see some changes. I finished the application, but there was some banging in the background. People working on next door, and that fucked the video. So I'm going to return to the state that we were. Okay, I will explain what is going on there. So that's a simple problem that I forgot to add or to register or item route. Okay, that we have here. So okay, you can see that we are on the same state we were before. Item route, just import the item route, sorry, and let's say item route. I don't know why I deleted all that, but okay. And we can okay, let me switch this because I have that on the other. Okay, so let's run the server back again. That is what I was doing. Let's refresh just for good luck. It takes some time now because I'm uploading a video. Okay, now we can hear some more fucking noise. And you can see we have the data. It was just that. Also, there's a problem with some things here on the item. We're working on the item. Let me close this. So we are on the same page we were before. I even just saw that I copy and pasted something. And if you were clever enough, well, let not say clever, you were fast, you saw that I was using this parse response. This is not working. This will not work because the response we're getting is just a string. Okay, so we need to get this parse response and to change that to be this. Okay, the object that we're going to use, okay, because it has the properties we need, because this is the JSON information. Okay, so that is going to work when we update that. So I'm going to make this a little faster because it's all the same thing we have been doing. So let me go to my routes, and I'm going to copy these two routes, the update and delete. So I'm just going to do this, update and delete. Those two are blueprints, and I'm going to go to my app.py and copy the registrations and say update. We can see that we are getting those. Okay, and save these two. Also, first of all, we're going to create the update. So I'm just going to copy this. No, let's just do this. Okay, let's go to the item and actually add the form, because you can see that here it's not working. It's only giving us the ID. So I'm just going to go to the items and copy a ton of code. It's just HTML. Okay, so I will explain what it's doing. So you can see it's a form. Okay, you can see this type text description. Well, it's the name, description, price, and image. This is not going to work because we need to add two more functions into it. But I'm saying the default values to what we have from the response. Okay, this is the parse response, the name, description, amount, and image. I'm using those as default values so we can actually update the information. And all these setters are the ones that we define here. Okay, that you can see that are now active. We have the redirection also, that we will handle that later. And And that's all. So let me just add, this is just, okay, let me show you so you can copy. Okay, this is the React fragment. Below here we have the ending of the React fragment and the delete, okay, button. So let me just remove some space in there so you can see that better. And also, maybe instead of doing this, let's say view. Okay, so you can see the whole form. This edit form is what we're going to set inside our return. So you can see that this is the actual element. Okay, so okay, this is the entire form and the button, if in case you want to copy that. Okay, so you can see that. So as I said, I'm going to move a little faster because this is just the form that we're going to send. You will see why. Well, you will see how it's working, and you will just realize that if you know React, it's just a simple form. And let's add that edit form that is actually containing the information. Okay, but you can see we have the update item and the delete item that are not working. So what we're going to do is just set those two. Okay, let me just copy that and paste it. Just the two constants. So we're going to build these ones. Okay, let's say let's just keep it like that. This is just pure React. Okay, so we're going to handle this next routes like this. Okay, and that's all. So let's say event that prevent default on this one, because this is the form. Okay, this is the update item that is going to be run on the submit. Okay, so we need the prevent default in order to stop refreshing the page. So we're going to handle this. Should work, right? Even it's not defined. Okay, so when we click this one, we have the edit mode that is going to check. Okay, let me show you. I think I showed you that. But if the edit mode is true, that currently is not true. Well, let me change this so you can. Okay, you can see that it's false. If the edit mode is false, we're just going to hide that all this fragment. And if it's true, we're going to show all this fragment with the form. That's why you can see that is showing and hiding. Okay, we have the information here that is coming from the object, from the parse response that actually has these properties. Okay, and now we're going to handle the fetch request. So I'm just going to copy this because this is just we've been working with this before, so it's on the update. We're going to create a new item. Okay, a new constant item. Now remember, this item ID is the clean ID we have. Okay, here we set that to be the ID. Okay, the item ID that is over here on line 6. So that is that. Okay, the product name, description, image, and price are coming from these parts of the application. Okay, now we need to create our options. Okay, these options are going to send the JSON with the method that we are handling a put request on our route. I didn't add that. Okay, I will add that in a second. So we will handle the put request. We will send the content type and the JSON, okay, inside this body. So this is not going to work right now, and we're going to handle the fetch just like that. So this is just pure React JavaScript. So this is the fetch to localhost 5000 API update that we still don't have that yet, but we will add it in a second with the item ID that is our clean ID. Okay, remember that meaning that the ID we have currently was with these quotes. So we clean that, so we can send the ID without those quotes to the API. Okay, and this is going to send that information to API update with the ID that is clean and the options that is just this constant object. Okay, we're going to handle a response that is just going to be a simple string, and we're going to set the redirect true here in order to redirect. So what we're going to do now is copy this redirect. Okay, you will see that it's not that big of a deal. Just a constant redirect, route redirect. That route redirect is what we are setting here on line 13. Okay, this is the variable that we're setting. You need to get this redirect from React Router, okay, in order to use the redirection. So the redirect this redirect is what we are importing from React Router, okay. So if redirect is true, then we are going to return a redirect to the main route, and that's all. So let's save this, and this is not going to work, but just to see, okay, you can see that it's not found, and it's going to say access to fetch blah 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 is blocked by course, but it's not blocked because we have course enabled on the API. What it's doing is that it's just not sending, or it's not finding that route. So I'm going to copy this down here. It's the same thing we have been doing. Okay, this API update ID with the update route that we created the blueprint here, okay, on line 27. Now we're going to define, okay, update. I already recorded this, but as I said, there was people working next door and it was a lot of noise. So I tried to record that, but it ended up filtering a lot of noise, okay, inside the video, and well, I decided to record this again just to make it a little faster. And also I spotted some problems. So I decided to, while I am uploading the parts of the videos of this tutorial, I decided to get this. So we're going to get the request JSON because we're sending JSON inside the item. Okay, we're going to get that is the item, and we're going to handle it the next way. So I'm just going to copy this because this is the same thing we did here. Okay, so let's paste that. The indentation is wrong. So you can see we're sending, or we're receiving the item ID that is the clean ID that we're going to use in order to look for the document that we want to update. We have the name, description, image, and account. Am I okay? Am I recording? Yes, right? Yes, because I can see this thing over here. Okay. So we are getting the name, description, image, and amount. So what I'm going to do is just return something so you can see what we are getting. Okay, now that I will try to make this fast, but not as fast that you cannot follow what is going on. So we're just going to respond with this update response. Okay, so we need to restart the server. You can see a lot of crap over there, but we will see that later or in a second. So this update item, you can see that it refreshes. It sends us back here because we have the redirection now enabled. And no, it's not over there, it's over here. You can see that we sent the ID, item ID, name, description, image, and amount. Okay, that's what we are sending with our fetch. That is an item. That is all this. Okay, this is what we're sending. So you can see the response, and now we're just going to create a new object inside our route. Okay, that is going to be this update updated item, you can call it however you want. We're going to set the name, description, image, and amount to what we have here, or variables, okay? And we're going to call the collection and say update one, that is the function we're going to use, and create two objects, or I don't know how they call in Python, I forgot the name. So the first one is going to be the ID, and we need to do something different. Remember that we added some object ID over here, okay? It's the same what we're going to do, the same object or method, sorry, that we're going to use here. So it's going to say object ID. Why we need to do this? Because even though we're sending a correct item ID, a correct collection or document, sorry, ID, we need to tell Mongo to parse it, okay? It needs to run inside this function so it gets the correct instance of the ID. If not, it's not going to work. It's going to take it like an invalid ID, okay? Even though it's valid. So fucking people okay, sorry. So let's keep with this. So we need this set and update items, sorry, and this is going to set the values that we have here on the instance of the ID we have here. Okay, so that's going to update the object inside Mongo. So if we go here, we say edit, it says Maui moisture. Let's say Maui moisture, something like that. Okay, let's add something like lorem ipsum, just to have something there. Yep, right here. Let's copy all this to actually say a description. Let's say it's going to cost $40, and let's update the item. Okay, so it didn't update. Why? Okay, let me, did I run this again? Let's say edit Maui moisture. What the hell? Copy this, paste it back. 40, update item. Okay, I forgot to. Okay, that's. I forgot to add the. It's doing like this because it's I think it's using flex. Forgot what I did with the. Okay, but you can see how it's getting this. It actually updated 40 and all that shit. Okay, so this is working. Now we have to delete that is not working. But yeah, and also the redirection. So this is working. I forgot only to refresh. You can see all the crap here. Forgot to refresh the server. Now what we have left is the delete, because this let me delete the other one. Okay, let me check the other one, cocoa oil. Okay, I even updated this one. So let's say delete, and you can see nothing happens because the function has nothing inside. So we're going to go to not create. Well, I have create because we're going to add the update. That's why I have that open in case I don't forget, you know. So that's why I have that. So let's continue with. You can see the delete is empty. So let me go to item, because as always VS Code is closing what I have open. So the item is going to be essentially the same. We need to send something to the API, and that something is going to be it's going to have these options: the method delete, the headers. We're going to send an object, the ID name with the item ID, that is the clean ID, okay, as the body. So we are going to send that. That's why we're using content type application JSON. The fetch is going to be the same, only handling the API delete, sending the item ID. Okay, we're going to respond with a simple set of text and use redirect. Okay, we are not doing anything else here. So this is going to send something, but we don't have that delete on our routes. So let's actually come back here with the delete, add this here. Let's define delete. Okay, no, we need those two, and let's just return JSONify and delete response, just like that. We need to close this and run it back. Okay, we're almost at the end. So let's say edit item, delete item. You can see that it redirects us because we have already the redirect in place, and you can see the delete response. So this is the last route we're going to add. If you want, you can print the request JSON just like this one, but let's change this to item deleted successfully. Okay, and now we need to create our item ID. Well, let's create it actually. Our item ID is going to be equals to the request that JSON that get what we're sending this ID. Okay, you can see that on the item we are sending this ID. Okay, on line 91 you can see that. So that is going to give us the correct ID, but just as before, collection that remove, sorry, is remove. We have it here. Just as this one, we need to create the correct instance using the object ID, because it's not going to work if we don't add that. So this is telling Mongo that this is creating, or not creating, but kind of parsing the ID. Okay, so we pass the item ID, that is the variable we have here, and we should be done. So let's actually do this, run the Flask server again, and let's just refresh this. So we remove all that. Let's say cocoa oil, 8 item. We know we can update. Let's delete. Okay, and you can see we deleted that. So let's add the redirection to the new post, because if we create a new post right now, it's not going to redirect. So I'm just going to copy well, let's actually do it like this. We know we have the redirection here, so we need the redirect that is coming from React router. Okay, we import that. We need the state. Okay, we can set this to false. I'm going to set that to false here, so you can see that it's going to work. And false, okay, as the state. Then let me see what it is. We need to set the redirect to true somewhere inside our application. So it's going to be here, set redirect to true, and we need to respond with something so we can redirect. So we are going to say constant redirect is going to be equal to the route redirect, that is what we are setting here using set redirect to avoid renaming, you know, to have conflicts with the naming. So if redirect is true, that is going to be true when we set the redirect here after we create that item. We're just going to return this redirect tag, okay, that is going to redirect us to the main route. And just like that, if we create a new item, let's say whatever, because you know, let's say 34 again, and let's add another one. So we have that one again. Let's add this one, coco oil again. Well, let's fuck it, create post, and we get redirected. Okay, so that is all for this tutorial. Now you should be able to create applications with React and Flask, also hooks. If you want to add, just as a side note, if you want to add updates, uploads, file uploads with images, you can follow the code I have on my, let's say, let me move all this. Let me close all this, and so you can okay, I'm going to go to my GitHub, okay, and let me just check. So that one is Flask MySQL. Okay, I have this Flask MySQL Firebase. There's an A there that shouldn't be there, but okay, you know. So I have all that in app.py. Okay, I ended up doing like that. You can see that we have Firebase. You will need to start Firebase, okay, because in case you want to handle the it's Firebase 4. Okay, this is the version that we used. So you want to install this using pip m install. Okay, create a new Firebase with a store a bucket, just creating a simple storage, and pass all that inside. Okay, let me go to inside here. I have it. Oh yeah, I know where I have it. Let me show you, because this is going to help you in order to for you to understand how to upload files. Okay, in this with this example using Firebase. So I'm just checking my videos, and on the configuration on this one, okay, you will see how to configure and how to set Firebase in order to allow you to update files using the why I move that, using their storage. So you can see we're using storage. We have the app already initialized there, and I explained all this. Okay, so you will need to set a naming of the file. You can come here and check that we have also these allow files. I explained all that in that course, so I'm not going to explain it here. But in order to add file uploads, check that. You can also check the Firebase storage API, so you can see the code. Okay, all that you need to do to create a name, to create a file name, a secure name. You will need to store that file in a temporary folder inside your hard drive, and to set a name for that for Firebase to store it. Okay, then store the file, download the file, and use that URL that you get when you download the file. When you get the URL, I mean, not downloading, but getting the URL, you will get the correct path of the file inside Firebase, and you can store that inside MongoDB. Okay, in this case, it's storing that. You can see the cover image, that is this one. The URL is storing that, and then you will have access to a file, okay, in case you want to add these images just like that. Well, I explained all that there. Okay, I might do something with file uploads only to show you that, but yeah, that was just a side note. So this is the end of the tutorial. Let me know if you have a question, anything, and see you on the next one.